And okay, so I have an idea of what I want to present to you. I've written some things. So, and then you can grill me on them. So, with that, I guess we're ready to get started if you are.
Cool. I'm live on my end, so.
Oh, you're a little bit, is my volume quiet? No, you're a little bit quiet.
I don't know. It sounds fine on my end, I think. Is there a way to increase audio?
Yeah, let me see about
Testing.
that. So
It doesn't give me one of those little bar thingies on my side that I can just increase.
It has you automatically adjusted, so let's test now.
Oh wait, testing.
Okay, I'm going to turn you up.
It says
So it has you at full volume now. Did you do that?
Yeah, I did that.
Okay. And then, oops.
I think he just closed himself out. What is up, Moon Shoes? Happy Friday. It is Friday.
Oh, I clicked stop instead of edit. Where is... Okay, it's arranged differently for me because it's my own studio.
Gotcha.
So I just need to turn down my audio some so that I'm not a whole lot louder than you. And I'm just going to estimate it right there, and that should be good. Okay. So yeah, let's go ahead and begin. We'll do whatever other introductions in front of the audience. There we go. And I think I don't... Oh, I can still do overlays. Okay. And I have... Oh, nope, I can't do overlays because I don't have a plan paid for right now. Okay. Well, I know what I'll do. I'll screen share the image. So let's get started, and I'll get that ready as we go. We are about to be live. Welcome all, and shalom, brothers and sisters. We have the reputable Tom Jump with us. And yeah, thank you for inviting me to do this live stream with you. I really appreciate that.
Sure.
And here, let me open the image and do what I do. And go ahead and introduce yourself while I do that and say hello.
I am T-Jump. I have a YouTube channel where I grow potatoes, different kinds of potatoes. Yorkshire are my favorite potato. They are the best kind of potato, objectively. And I grow cheese, lots of cheeses, mostly craft. Grow craft cheese. That's what I do.
Okay, and for those in my audience who might not know of T-Jump, some of my Reformed brothers and sisters, he is a down-to-earth yet deep philosopher and a debater, and the sort of ultimate immovable object of a skeptic, one might say, is how I would characterize his debating. And let's see, how is screen share going? There it is. So he is going to grill me on why I believe the gospel. And we're actually going to go really deep here, though. I warned Jeff, I don't know if he passed the message on to you, but I'm going to take a very spiritual approach. And you'll see what that is as we get into it.
Oh, wait.
So I have a good amount to read to you. I'm going to read pretty quick and kind of ask for your cooperation to get started. We have a 2-hour time slot here. So hopefully this introduction part won't take too much of it, and then we can really engage with that. So let me get the text on screen. Let's see here. And anyone in the comments section, let me know if I'm too quiet. I wanted to balance my volume with Tom's, so I turned mine down some so that hopefully they're about the same volume. And let me go ahead and do one last thing. That's just the live stream in session. Do not disturb sign.
I feel like you just like select all and then say read aloud.
Oh, you're talking about on the screen here?
Yeah, that's what I normally do. Whenever I have like text, I just click it all and make Word read it for me. Siri, read this.
What I want to do is take away these annoying marks. That'll
Misspelled
be very
Camish.
fast. Yeah, I don't know how his name's spelled or if it just doesn't know his name. But I don't know if you know who Paul Camish is off the top of your head, but he's a really a good atheist friend of ours. He's a British man and a pilot, and so I don't know if that rings a bell.
Nope. I think he did a modern day debate. Something, maybe.
Yeah, I think he did one. He doesn't usually debate, but I do think he did a debate somewhere at one point. And okay, so here's what I have to say to you, Tom. You're not going to like it. So here we go. And I'll make it just a little bit bigger. There we go. Tom, you have never faced Christianity in combat before.
Not true.
But I intend to provide you that opportunity. In every case that I have ever known of, unbelievers will cosplay as if to fight Christianity, but they are not interested in the actual fight. I have managed to bring the champion Christianity before Paul Camish once, and he didn't know what to do with such a foe. Christianity is gustly, that's spiritual. And if one does not face that gustiness, that spirituality, as the opponent, then one does not face Christianity as an opponent. In order to engage with unbelievers, many Christians will bring a surrogate opponent before the unbeliever. This may be an evidential argument, or it may be a philosophical one, and either way, it makes the cross of Christ to be of no effect. And therefore, it is to fail to provide the actual opponent and fight the actual opponent and fight, which is Christianity. So I'm not asking you to agree, but do you follow what I'm saying? That evidential arguments and philosophical arguments do not bring the actual opponent to you?
Nope. I have no idea what that means because it seems like those would be the things we would need.
Okay, well, I am going to do a good amount of prep here to make that more clear. So that's a sufficient answer. Preachers strive to bring that actual opponent, Christianity, before unbelievers, but they don't know how to prepare the unbeliever to comprehend the opponent and the fight. So, Tom, if you will allow me, I am going to prepare you to enter the arena, and then I will attempt to convey the opponent, and then you may begin to fight. This is not a fight that is fought in an hour or in a day or in a week. If you want to refute Christianity, should be a comma, you'll need to do better than cosplay. And just so you know, that's not personal to you. That's just a matter of the topic. To fight against the greatest champion of all is not for everyone. It is a huge investment, and it will destroy your very personhood and defeat you, and you will become a Christian. The insistence that the fight is a mere absurdity is the defense mechanism of the fearful cowardice of the unbeliever. So that's because you don't want what I just said to happen to you, the destroying of your personhood and becoming a Christian. So you'll need a defense mechanism, which will be to consider everything I am saying to you to just be absurd. Indeed, the unbeliever is deluded into believing that the fight is a mere absurdity. If you can be brave, then I can offer that fight to you. But it is a fight which you cannot win. Every thought of your mind will urge to turn to the defense mechanism, to write off what I am going to present to you. If you dare to be brave, you must first let me bring you to the arena, and then to the champion whom you claim to slay. So here's where I'm going to be asking you to bear with me and entertain me in this um, before you're just disregarding it and wait until it's there to then fight against it. And from
Well,
your
I haven't heard
perspective,
anything yet. Haven't heard anything to fight against yet.
yeah, we're not there yet.
Okay.
And this will probably seem to you, from your perspective, perhaps like the easiest sort of fight, or maybe you'll actually notice the entrance to the rabbit hole and go down it. So this will be interesting to see what happens. The champion Christianity is not the mere cosplay which so called apologists have played with you before. In order for you to face this champion, you must first fight against your own defense mechanisms. You must first be a good listener and listen deep enough to get into the arena and to get toe to toe and face to face with your rival, whom you have never seen before. Tom, can you dare to resist your urge to resort to ignorance? And by ignorance, I mean ignoring, if that makes sense.
I have no idea what you're presenting, so I can't really say one way or the other. I need an
Okay.
argument.
Well, then I am asking you to, well, I think I'm making it clear, so I'll continue. Or will you merely write off what I am striving to convey before you? Or, sorry. Or will you merely write off what I am striving to convey before you have even understood it in the depth of what it is? We are about to find out. Okay, so I guess I wasn't supposed to really ask you that. That was rhetorical. But anyway, I will leave you no excuses, and I will not lie to you. If you resort to defense mechanisms, then you will hate what I have to say about that. That hate is the pure pressure to which all so called apologists succumb. They play the cosplay because otherwise they will be denied any engagement. And so, Tom, I thank you for being here because other people who have some idea of what my approach is, they just deny me engagement. So this should be very interesting and not quite like how you've ever had it presented before. So resist the urge to write me off prematurely and dare to face the steelman Christianity. Please note that while my words are going to be incredibly confrontational, I am not attempting to debate you nor to prove anything. Rather, I am attempting to offer you the opportunity to confront your opponent. If you want to attempt to be the God Slayer, then let me help you out here. Okay, and then
Still haven't heard anything to address so far. No evidence. No nothing. I don't know.
oh yeah, well, I'm not going to take an evidential approach, but I am getting close to explaining to you what the approach is going to be. So pay very close attention so that you may comprehend what I am about to tell you. Before you can disagree, you must comprehend. And so far, you're very agreeable with that. I appreciate that. Before you can defeat your opponent, you must come toe to toe and face to face with him. Let me say, Tom, I respect you when you fight the fight. And I cannot blame you for the fact that no one has ever brought this fight before you or brought this fight to you before. And let me see. Oh, yeah, it looks like there's a couple people inside chat. Just let me know if I'm too quiet because I'm using a quieter volume than usual. And let me continue. And the text will get bigger later on. Sorry, I didn't do a better size.
Well, we could have just skipped like everything that you've said so far. Can we just skip straight to like an argument of some kind or some like because you need some way to show that Christianity isn't just a figment of human imagination. And to do that, you're going to need some kind of evidence.
Yeah, so I am giving you the opportunity that you haven't gotten before. And it is important that I'm very clear what that is. So this has been rather important, this part of the
None of it,
introduction.
absolutely none of that was important because I mean, the only thing that you need is to provide some reason to think Christianity isn't a figment of people's imagination, and none of the things you presented are that.
Okay, well, when I pre, you see there's it's just a few short words is the entire argument, and that is Christ and Him crucified. But
And how
in
does
order
that
for you,
show it's not a figment of human imagination?
yeah, so That's where you see this is sort of a matter of giving you an opportunity to internally critique.
Well, I don't need any opportunities. I need, is this figment of human imagination? Yes or no, plus why. That's all I need.
Okay, well, I can only present what is actually the Christian thing to present. And I know you're asking for something else.
What?
And so that's why I'm taking the required efforts to help you understand that distinction so that then you may
I have
choose
no
to
idea
engage with it.
what you're saying right now. So like, if Christianity is true, true means corresponds to reality and not just a figment of imagination. And so then you need to say, if Christianity is true, here is how we would know that it corresponds to reality and isn't just a figment of our imagination.
Yeah,
To
well,
do,
we're about to get to some meat and potatoes. I do want to. There's some context I'm about to set here that I think is the segue into the meat and potatoes. And so, if I continue here, we'll get there pretty quick. At this point, I twice listened to T-Jump Brutally Destroyed by Jack, Angstrike, Minions, Physicalism, and Objective Morality Debate. And they did not destroy you, but rather you stood strong. Do you remember that debate?
yes.
Okay, because in fact, you stood as a hero for atheism, and they were demeaning atheism down to a mere semantic wordplay. They were granting the supernatural and then using fancy terminology as a mere costume to play like they don't believe in anything supernatural. They never defeated your CD analogy, by which you asserted physicalism. How can they think they won that exchange? Well, it's because intuition blatantly declares the truth, and the truth is God Himself. They strive to deny God because they are attached to their own egos. John chapter 3 explains this matter with explicit clarity. The light has arrived unto the order, and the humans loved the darkness more than the light because their works had been toilsome. Because he who is practicing flaw hates the light and does not come toward the light, so that his works may not be refuted and corrected. As yet, he who achieves the truth comes toward the light, so that his works may be made obvious in this manner, that they are having been worked in God. You also strive to deny God because you are also attached to your own ego. Every darkness dweller needs a defense mechanism against the light. Theirs is mere semantic wordplay, and so it is nothing.
Well, literally everything you've done is nothing but semantic wordplay. I need why not imagination?
Well, we're getting there. This is the segue, like I just said. So, Tom, your defense mechanism is solipsism, if I'm understanding right. Well,
No.
as we get into the analogy here, we'll dig into that a little bit. It is absurdity, and it is to deny what intuition proves. So,
Not a
do you have any
solipsist.
understanding of what I mean? That the reason they think they won the debate, even
I
though
don't
you actually won it,
I don't care. Like
is because of
literally
a
not
matter of
evidence.
intuition?
Don't care. Not relevant to anything.
Okay, well, I'll demonstrate how
I
this is and
don't
how this is
demonstrate. I
relevant.
don't care. I just want, show me Christianity isn't a figment of people's imagination. Nothing you're saying is in any way
Well,
relevant to the topic. Literally nothing you've said. I've just been playing chess and pretending I care to all what you're like. Nothing you've said is relevant. 0% of what you
okay.
said is relevant.
Well, you don't understand what is relevant because you're in darkness instead of light, but I'm trying to be helpful.
You're not.
And so,
So
like
I
I
do
said,
understand. I
this is why.
explained to you. So I explained to you what is relevant. What is relevant is show Christianity isn't a figment of your imagination. Anything that can do that is relevant. Nothing you presented can do that. So nothing you presented is relevant. And so making ad
Okay, so
homs doesn't help.
I'm going to establish the merit of intuition. Do you think intuition has any merit?
Towards some things like conceptual things, yes. Does intuition tell us about reality independent of our imagination? No.
Okay, so that's where I'm going to use math here as an analogy. We're getting into the meat and potatoes of this because in order for me to present an intuitive argument, which is the correct argument as according to
Math is
spiritual
not.
intuition.
Math has absolutely nothing to do with intuition. It corresponds to reality.
Okay, so So I have the question written here. Why do I believe arithmetic? Okay, so that's a rhetorical question. Why do I believe arithmetic? Arithmetic was, so this relates to why I believe the gospel. Arithmetic was demonstrated to me in a way that made the obviousness of its factuality apparent to me. This was a logical matter, yet my learning of it heavily involved intuition. It was about a decade later when I learned proofs in geometry. Those proofs were based on semantic and syntactic conventions applied to demonstrated quantities. So the demonstration, I think, relates to what you say about corresponding with reality. And then intuitive, unprovable axioms were applied to those conventions. And from there, we proved complex math. According to this, math is unproven because it is based on mere conventions and unprovable axioms. Do you believe math to be an accurate model of the relationships of quantities and portions?
It's been demonstrated to it, so I believe it because there's evidence.
Okay, so you believe it because it's been demonstrated.
Yeah.
So you're taking an evidential approach, not a logical proof approach?
Yes.
Okay. So we see that something as objectively obvious as math requires intuitive granting of unprovable facts. To reject math is foolishness.
No, it doesn't. So that's false.
Okay, well, as a matter of logical syllogism, it does.
No, it doesn't. That's false.
Because you're referring to scientific testing, which is a different system than logical syllogism.
Neither of them do. So, I mean, it seems like you're making an argument that a God of the gaps fallacy or a tu quoque fallacy of, there's something we have to take. We have to believe math on faith. Therefore, it's reasonable to believe the Bible on faith. Like, no.
No. What I'm doing right now is I need a footing, and the footing is the merit of the intuitive. And then as far as the evidence, that also does come into the picture. For instance, that Lord Jesus is referred to as the Lord of glory, and glory, glory means apparentness of excellency. So Lord of glory means the Lord of having his own excellency be apparent. This means both that he is Lord from the fact, as a result of the fact that his excellency is so very apparent, and also that he is the ultimate of having one's own excellency be apparent.
Well, then I can just prove it's false because it's not apparent to the vast majority of the people on the planet. So if God was the Lord of excellency, which is apparent to everyone, and it's not apparent to everyone, then it's clearly false.
Well, that's an appeal to consensus.
No, it's an internal contradiction. So if you're saying that Jesus is the Lord of being apparent and he's not apparent, then that means that he's not Lord.
Well, that would be like if everyone, let's say you were blind and the majority of humans were blind, and then you were to say that when I say that sunlight is apparent, your argument is that, well, sunlight is not apparent because the majority of us don't see it. Well, that's proof of your blindness according to an internal critique. So it's not an internal contradiction. We have an answer to that.
Well, no, because that would then prove Jesus false, because he's apparent to the people he's apparent to, which means he's not apparent. That's what it means. So you can't, it's begging the question to say Jesus is the Lord of being apparent to the people he's apparent to. And that means.
So are you saying that the sunlight is not apparent, that the daytime is not apparent?
It is apparent because most people can see it. That's what apparent means.
No, apparent doesn't necessarily refer to appeal to consensus. Like I said, if over half of humanity were blind, the daytime would still be apparent.
Apparent means clear or visible. So if the majority of people couldn't see it, then it would not be clear or visible. So like X-rays are not apparent. Some percentage of human beings, there's a genetic modification in some women who can see an extra dimension of light. But that's not apparent to everyone. It's just a very select few who can see it. So no. But I'm still not hearing like an argument of some kind. Like absolutely none of it is an argument.
Yeah, I didn't say that I was going to come and do a debate, but I was going to let you grill me on why I believe was the way that it was framed to me, and that's what I'm going for. And you seem to be trying to get me to engage it in a way which is not the Christian way to engage it. And if you do that, then you're not facing the opponent because you're deeming the opponent to be irrelevant, which is fine, but then you're just not engaging the Christian topic. And that is why I have gone through lengths, because I know that you're a deep, well established thinker. And so I am going through lengths to help you out with that
What
in
you're saying, so
context
like
of all of
you
that.
can believe for whatever reason you want to believe. You can believe because you fart pixies or whatever. I don't care why you believe. What I care about is it true? That's what I'm interested in. I don't care why you believe.
Okay. And then the mic volume goes all over the place. I'm just turning myself up a little bit because you're getting a little bit louder now, which is a good thing. Okay. Well, you see, I'm trying to give you the opportunity to.
Well, stop trying to give me the opportunity and actually just give me a reason to think it's true.
Well, you don't have reason to think it's true. The Bible says so. So if you're talking about an
Then
internal.
so if there's no reason to think it's true, then by definition you should not think it's true.
Well, there is reason for the spiritually transformed person to think it's true. You have no reason to think it's true.
Well,
And
it doesn't.
so,
When I ask for a reason to think it's true, I mean a reason that gives us anybody, you, me, anybody, a justification to think it's not a figment of our
well, no,
imagination.
sorry, but you just told me that because it's not the majority of people that it's apparent to, that it doesn't count. Now
No,
you're saying
that's just the
anybody.
definition
If
of
it's
apparent. So
anybody, that's
no,
already what I was doing.
stop. So that's the definition of apparent. If only a small portion of people can see it, then it's not apparent to most people. But that's irrelevant to evidence. So I need evidence. Even evidence can be evidence for just you. It doesn't matter if it's visible to everybody else. If you have
Okay,
novel
so
testable predictions that demonstrate that God is real, that would be evidence for you, but you'd still need to provide some reason for anybody, you, me, anybody, to think it's not a figment of your imagination.
yeah, so there are plenty of people who understand the reason very clearly. It is you who does not
Well,
understand.
that's great. Tell
Now,
me what
let
the
me
reason
clarify
is.
the semantics of apparent. I think that would help this
I
step
don't. I
here.
don't care about the semantics of apparent. Tell me what the
Well,
reason
you use the
is.
semantics of apparent to shoot me
No,
down. So
no,
now I
no.
care about the
I
semantics
don't.
of apparent,
I
and I
don't
need to
care. I don't care.
clarify that.
Bring up a reason to believe Christianity isn't a figment of human imagination. That's what I want to hear. I don't care about any of the semantics of any of the things you said because literally none of it was relevant. Why believe Christianity isn't a figment of human imagination made up by a bunch of goat herders 2,000 years ago?
Well, it sounds like you want to engage with something other than Christianity. And if that's the case, I don't know why you
What?
invited to have a discussion with me.
Wait, no, that is Christianity. So is Christianity true? You have to answer the question. Here's a reason to think Christianity is not made up by human imagination from goat herders. Those are
Yeah,
literally.
but you're trying to have me do it according to an unchristian standard. Then I would be outside of the Christian topic, and that would defeat the whole purpose.
What? I don't know what that means. So, like, if you're
Yeah, but I'm
saying,
trying to help you know what that
if you're
means. You
trying to
see, I'm
prove,
the authority on
wait.
Christianity, not you,
So, if
because
you're
I am
trying,
in the
one sec.
spirit and
So,
I am an expert.
one sec. So, if you're trying to prove Christianity by using Christianity, that's called circular reasoning. We know that doesn't work. We can just prove deductively that is failed reasoning. You can't do that. You lose. So, if you're trying to say Christianity is true, and I'm going to use Christianity to prove Christianity, well, that means you've lost.
Well, we use reality to prove reality, right? We use existence to prove existence.
No,
And we can do it by observing existence, but we're still
no.
leaning
We're
on
not. We're
existence
not.
to prove existence, or else you're a solipsist.
No, that's wrong. My direct experience is an object that does exist. And so my direct experience isn't like an argument. There's no premise. Direct experience is not a premise. It's a fact. It's something that literally exists. So if an object exists directly, you directly experience it. Great. That's great. Do we have direct experience of Jesus, do you think?
Oh, definitely. So he is the light that has arrived into the world.
Okay,
So may
where
I
is that? How do I directly
citizen
experience Jesus?
well may I as the one with the burden of proof, may I attempt to convey what I intend to argue on my terms? Is that okay with you?
Well, literally, you spent how many minutes? 30 minutes saying gibberish that had literally nothing to do with the topic. So, I
It has
mean, just
everything to do with the topic. You're the one who
no,
doesn't understand.
no. The topic is give me a reason to think Christianity isn't a figment of people's imagination. Nothing in the past 30 minutes has provided that.
Well, that when I agreed to this, that wasn't the way it was framed up. I was told that you would give me space to say what I need to, and you do a good job listening, and that I would tell you why I believe, and we would talk about that. And I did the thumbnail that you would grill me on why I believe the gospel, not why I think you should believe the gospel. So
Well, if you're just
um,
telling me why you believe, I don't
you're
care.
just
I don't care why you believe. You can believe for whatever reason you want. It makes you happy. That's fine. Like if you can just say it makes me happy, and I'm like, okay,
I'm just telling you
topic
what I
over.
agreed to because you're telling me the topic's one thing, but you sent an agent to me who had me agree to a different topic than what you're saying. And so I'd like you to be patient to the agreement that was made on your behalf and honor that
Yeah,
and let
typically when
me
someone says
continue with
what
what I'm doing.
reasons you believe, they're not things of just opinion. Like if you believe because you like it, that's fine. There's nothing to grill you on. If all you have is your subjective feelings, that's fine. There's nothing to grill you on there. It's just that's just your subjective feelings. No one you're irrational for believing that. If you think it's justified in any reason, but you can, it's totally fine. So if you would need to say, are your reasons purely your subjective feelings? If they are, that's fine. I have nothing to grill you on. If your reasons actually provide a justification to believe it's true, then that would be what I'm interested in.
Well, okay, but I'm not asking you to make this about what you're interested in. I'm asking you to live up to the agreement that you sent someone to make with me. So if I may read the agreement, he said, "Hi there. Would you be open to having an online discussion with Tom Jump about why you are a Christian and more specifically, why you believe in Christianity is true?"
Yes,
And then he
true.
said,
What
"Tom
does
is an
true
atheist
mean?
who's deeply interested in religion,
What
theology, and
does
philosophy."
true mean? What does the word true mean?
Jesus Christ.
No. Can you show me the dictionary which gives that definition?
No, I'm disagreeing with the dictionary.
Well, so if someone sends you an email, you have to accept their definition. So what is Jeff's definition of true in that email?
Oh, so why I believe Christianity is true. Okay, okay. I'll hang with you there. That's fine. I was just answering your question when you asked it. So, but it's why I believe Christianity is true.
Yeah,
It's
so
not
when Jeff
it
said why you believe Christianity is true, what did Jeff mean by that word true?
well, I think well, the part I'm dwelling on is why I believe Christianity is true. You're trying to change it to why I think you should be convinced Christianity
No,
is
no, no, no,
true.
no.
And that's not what I agreed to.
When a person asks you a question, you have to use all of their definitions. They get to tell you what they mean. So when Jeff asked you a question, why do you believe Christianity is true? All of those words are Jeff's definition. You don't get to define any of those words because the answer you're responding to is Jeff's question. If you change the
Well,
definition of any of those words, it's called a straw man fallacy. So what you need to do is you need to answer the question Jeff asked. Why do you believe Christianity corresponds to reality and is not a figment of your imagination? Because that's what true means. Corresponds to reality, not a figment of your imagination. That's
okay,
what
so I
true
can agree
means.
with that. The place is that it's why I believe it, but you're trying to change it to
Yes.
why I think you should be compelled to agree.
Why do you believe Christianity corresponds to reality and is not a figment of your imagination?
Yeah, and it's okay if you think my reason is stupid, but I agreed to give my
What
reason,
is the
and you
reason? Just
keep
tell me any reason. Nothing you've said so far has given me a reason of why you think Christianity corresponds to reality and is not a figment of your imagination. That's the part I've been looking for. That's what I've been waiting for the whole time.
yeah. So the next sentence he said was that you're deeply interested, but as I try to go deep with it,
With the
you're
truth.
saying that that's a waste of time.
No, no, no. I'm deeply interested in the truth. And the truth is what corresponds to reality not a figment of your imagination. That's what I'm deeply interested in. So again, you need to answer the
It
question.
says you don't think religion's true, do you? It says
Religion
Tom is an
is
atheist who's deeply interested in religion, theology, and
religion
philosophy.
is a thing. It definitely exists, but again, this has nothing to do with the topic. So why do you think Christianity corresponds to reality and is not a figment of your imagination?
And it says he's rigorous and skeptical,
Why do
but
you keep
also
reading the question?
open-minded and
Stop,
fair.
stop, or I'm just going to mute you on
Because
my
you're
end.
not living up to the
I'm just going to
agreement.
mute you on my end. No, I'm living up to exactly the agreement. As I've just explained to you, truth
No, we
is
just read it to the
corresponds
audience.
reality.
They can see that you are not living up to the agreement. You are not being open-minded. You are not letting it be about why I believe.
Dumbass. What does truth mean? You fucking dumbass.
Okay,
What does the word truth mean?
There won't be cussing on my channel.
Dumbass.
Okay?
What does the word truth mean?
Okay, Tom, I need you to know there won't be cussing like that on my channel. That's not what I do, okay? So this can continue or it can end, but there won't be cussing.
Dumbass is gone. Okay.